Hello people, it's Power here to review the Kamen Rider Zero-One DX Attache Arrow. This is the third and final entry of the Attach Weapon series. Obviously, Attach Arrow being the primary weapon of Kamen Rider Zero-One. Why did... I was running out of breath at that. But obviously Zero-One's here too because he had it at one point. And also because he's the main rider. So he has to, for some reason, prioritize it, even though it's Hirobi's. So here's the attach case mode for the attach arrow. This one I'll say it's alright. It's not as good as the shotgun, but I'll say it's at least better than the caliber. I think the caliber is kind of the weakest, or I don't know. This one just looks odd, but interesting at the same time because it has this it's going off of this side, but then it's like going down. But it's the back. Again, it requires two AAA batteries. Then you have these two eject buttons for things. I guess that's what makes this one cleaner. We don't have the big bulky button, but that's kind of makes it inconsistent with the others. If you couldn't tell, this is the handle, which it's back at being able to be held. But then we get this is what's going to be our pullback, which is one of the worst pullbacks I've ever experienced between this and the G-Con Zax, because at least that one I can pull further. This one I can barely pull a thing. What you call an arrow. And then change into arrow mode, you have to press this button here, and flip this forward like so, and then flip this one manually. And then there's arrow mode, which if I were to pull out the shotgun, it's obviously shorter. But I guess it's more better to compare with the caliber. It's technically at the same height here, but then it gets some extra length because of there. So technically this thing is the longest. So I guess that's a proud moment. There's the arrow part, and then, you know, this thing can rotate all the way around, but this thing is stuck to just going like so. So yeah, turning it on.
Attache Arrow.
Self-announcement. If we push this up, we get like a closing sound, or the sound that it plays when it switches. So we get nothing, and then when you press the trigger,
Attache case opens to release the never-missing bow and arrow.
So we get that, which is again pretty cool. And then when we use a PowerRider key,
PowerRider key confirmed, ready to utilize. Scorpion's ability.
again, I really do like that this purple is the same as this purple, even though it might look different. It's still the same purple. When we press this trigger, we get Kamen Attach, which is technically new, but when we pull this up, that should bring in some hints already, which is going to be this toy's demise. So, switching it to arrow mode, you have to lift this part up first. If you can, when you press it, because you can't lift this up without this. So we get that sound, which I'll zoom out a bit, and because I don't have a way to comfortably frame this, I'm just gonna have to hold it like so. So there's technically two modes when you have it in the arrow mode, because you're either shooting or you're slashing. So when you press the trigger, you get slashing sounds. Then when you pull back, which I'll do it this way, and this trigger is really touchy. So when you pull back, you get this standby until you let go. So you can do that without holding it, like so. And then you can slash and hold. But overall, it's just kind of dumb. So obviously for its base modes without a progress key, switch it back to the case mode. We get this sleek standby, and now you have two choices of either pushing this up or pressing this. So we do the button. So we just get the charge sound, and you technically get the same thing for pushing this up. Now switching it back. Hit the full charge, to which we have two attacks. So we would do the slash first. I meant the blade first. And then only for this mode you can actually go back to the arrow mode. Never mind, we have to do the charge again, to which I'll just show that you don't need to fold this all the way through. Or you don't need this thing, but... So you get the Kamen shoot. It's pretty interesting that it still technically doesn't do the charge sound, because I guess you are doing that. But yeah. Anyways, let's take our progress key and insert it awkwardly.
Progress key confirmed. Ready to utilize. Scorpion's ability.
So we get this new standby, to which I'll demonstrate the blade first. So you get Kamen slash again. However, you can tell that it's not pressing anything within the progress key. So if we want to do that again, or actually, because we have a progress key and we can actually do the attack with the arrow. Now, just to show you can actually hold it. However, that's gonna play. So, folding it up. It's kind of expected what's gonna happen. So this thing will still do its thing because it cannot press any buttons in here. While this one... And then folding it out for one last time. Not really. Blade. Now, I'm just gonna say this right now. Well, there we get the Kamen finish, but if we go back to arrow mode, it's just going to do Kamen shoot. So we have to charge it up again. So there we get the Kamen strike, which is the final finisher. Now folding this back in and ejecting it. We're done. So yeah, that's the Attache Arrow. And I'll be honest, I'm not really fond of this one. I just don't really like it. I feel like it's such a downgrade towards the shotgun. Just because I understand what they're trying to do here, because this one they definitely changed up a lot. Like, because the shotgun is very similar to the caliber, But this one, like, I understand what they're trying to do and such, but I just don't really like the way they did it. Like, we have the Gastricon Sparrow syndrome of having the arrow mode only be the thing to press the buttons, or to, like, be the thing to, like, lift the buttons up for the weapon and not the button, which makes this one more clickier, or this makes it less clickier than, like, the others. This one just feels like a standard button, so you can tell something's clearly off. And because of that, it's just like you have these two you have these two blade sounds that you can't technically use a ProRise key with, because like it's just Kaban Strash or Kaban Slash and Kaban Finish. So it's just lackluster. And I just feel like it's just a missed opportunity as a whole of like having this one like towering over the caliber and shotgun, but it just fails at it. And again, as I complained about before, this is one of the worst pullbacks I've ever experienced. I don't understand how even a kid can like be fine with it. It's way too short. Like I'm not asking for show size length. That thing is like extremely long, and that's like 3 sections. I'm at least asking like to at least go to like up here. Be the same length as the G-Con Zax. Like, give me like free range to actually pull it back. Cause like I'm literally only able to do like tiny chunks and not like, you know, feel like I actually want to feel like I'm pulling it. Like this thing I don't feel like I'm pulling it all. I feel like I'm tugging on something. But again, like the attached weapons are your preference. You really only need one of them. I don't really recommend this one. It's just like I feel like if you get this one only, it's just like you're like missing out on so much, just because like you're forced to like use this thing to activate the things and not a button. So it's just like more difficult to work with things, but yeah, that's basically it for this review. So this is PowerRider, and I'll leave you people. Bye.